Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the webinar on how to pass limited insolvency examination in the first attempt.
Another Zoom call. I'll call you back.
Today, as guest speaker, we have Mr. Ashish Makhija, who has joined us from the United States. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Prakhar.
As you may be aware, friends, Tranzission is at the forefront for providing online training programs for insolvency professionals and others. It also provides online classes for aspirants of limited insolvency examination. You would also be aware that Tranzission is the first and the only company to offer online practice exams with a chance to review answers for limited insolvency examination and valuation examination. This has helped many in shaping their careers. Tranzission is also an ACE publisher with many publications, out of which analysis of cases for limited insolvency examination by Mr. Ashish Makhija has become the bestseller. I'll also like to point out here that we do believe that every participant wants to clear the exam in the very first attempt. And we at Tranzission have got a variety of courses to help you guys through a journey of becoming an insolvency professional. Before I introduce our guest speaker for today, let me inform you all with some rules that have to be followed by us during this webinar. During the webinar, please keep your microphones muted to have a better experience. Participants are requested to ask the questions through a chat box. It is recommended that the participants attend the webinar from a quiet environment. It is also advised that the participants may use their headphones or earphones for the webinar for a better audibility. It is also advisable to close all other applications while attending the webinar. In case anyone gets disconnected in between, they can click on the link and join again. I now introduce our faculty, Mr. Ashish Makhija. Mr. Makhija bears top credentials in the subject of insolvency and bankruptcy law and corporate law, amongst others. He has served as the standing counsel for the official liquidator attached to the High Court of Delhi. He is also an insolvency professional. He is the finest faculty for limited insolvency examination, and people from all across India have attended his seminars, which has helped them immensely. He is a leading practitioner in the field of insolvency, corporate laws, and commercial litigation. He is a World Bank trained corporate trainer. He is a renowned faculty and a resource person for several professional institutes. He has spoken extensively on the subject of insolvency, bankruptcy, and corporate law, and has trained many insolvency professionals through Tranzission's masterclasses also. He has authored 14 books on the subject of insolvency law and corporate law. His book, Analysis of Cases for Limited Insolvency Examination, has been published by Bloomsbury, and Tranzission is one of the top sellers, which is primarily meant for aspirants of limited insolvency examination. He has authored IBC Case Digest, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code of India, published by LexisNexis, which is a comprehensive section-wise commentary on IBC amongst others. With this, I would request Mr. Makhija to take us through the presentation and guide the participants.
Okay, thank you, Prakhar, for the generous introduction. Well, friends, the short introduction is that I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. And if you have any questions, of course, we will be dealing with you during the course of this. Well, the first question that always comes to the mind of all professionals. I'm also a chartered accountant. I'm also a lawyer, of course, and as an insolvency professional also. Well, why should I pass limited insolvency examination? That's the first question which always comes to the mind. Well, I can answer it this way. One, we are all, you see, in a very, very unprecedented situation. We have a lot of time at our hand. Of course, now we have started going to offices and managing other things also, but still we have a lot of time at our hand. And why not to utilize this available time for gaining something which is substantive? Doing some courses, getting certificates, that is all, of course, fine. I mean, one can always enhance knowledge and update knowledge. But this is something, my dear friends, which you will really appreciate. And in a business card, your business card, if you write down, say, like chartered accountant and insolvency professional, does it make a difference or not? The answer is yes. And then it opens up doors of opportunities for you. There are a host of opportunities which an insolvency professional can also get it. I'm not only talking in terms of money, whether the fees is much higher for the insolvency professionals and others or not. But the fact of the matter is that there are a number of opportunities which can be utilized by the people. Those who are professionals, those who are even engineers also, and other people also definitely can make use of this. So Of course, we can discuss about those opportunities also, but that is not the scope today. Well, first of all, that was the question which used to come to our mind. The other is, if yes, okay, if I decide, then how should I go about it? Well, first of all, I think to answer that question, you need to understand the syllabus. You need to understand the scope of examination. Then you need to understand the strategy or devise a strategy how to do this. Because this exam, if you mark my words, this is more based on a strategy. You have to approach it in a strategical manner. Of course, the understanding of the law, the knowledge of the concepts, and also memorizing certain things will definitely help in passing this exam. But first of all, one must look at the syllabus which is there. So what I do is let me share the syllabus with you on your screen. Let me see if my file is open. I'll share that on your screen now. Yes. Okay, Prakhar, are you able to see this file?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is the press release which was issued by IBBI on 30th March, and they said, because this is a continuous exam, but they keep on changing the syllabus. The last syllabus which was changed was on 1st July 2019. That is with effect from 1st July. So this was a press release which was issued 3 months before, and they said we are going to change the syllabus from 1st July, and now this is the syllabus which is applicable for you. After this, syllabus has not been changed. And this is also giving you a greater advantage. Now, if the syllabus gets changed, my dear friends, it's going to be very heavy, because new regulations have come in, new provisions are being added, new cases are being added. So the syllabus is becoming heavier and heavier day by day. Of course, since till the time IBBI announces the new syllabus, well, we have the opportunity to pass the exam under this syllabus itself. And this is with effect from 1st July. That means if we go, you say, little down under, we'll see it. Basically, if you look at the syllabus, it contains 10 parts to it. And the strategy actually starts from there itself, because the different weightage has been given to different topics. Now, if I look at the item number 1 and 2 in the syllabus on your screen, now it shows insolvency and bankruptcy code, which is the entire code. It contains 20% weightage. This means 20 questions of 1 mark each will be asked. And then we have rules and regulations under IBC. But what you have to study is rules and regulations which are notified under the code till 30th June 2019. Now, this is a great advantage. After 30th June, friends, lot of rules and a lot of regulations have been notified. A lot of amendments have also taken place. But for your purposes, if you're appearing in this exam now, well, you have to ignore all those amendments. And this is actually reducing a lot of your effort. And mark my words, a lot of regulations have also come into being. So this also gets 20% weightage. So 40% weightage is completely devoted to IBC and rules and regulations. So you cannot avoid. And when I say you cannot avoid, means IBC, you must know as a concept. If your conceptual understanding is there, then I do not think anyone can stop you in passing that exam. But if you're just simply reading it and trying to memorize it, well, I don't know whether somebody will be able to pass. Maybe some people may pass the exam, but if the conceptual understanding is not there, friends, the idea is we want to become one of the best IPs, insolvency professionals, isn't it? So we must know what is the conceptual understanding in this. And then I'm just skipping the middle parts of the syllabus, and I'm taking you to the last 3 parts, which are item number 8, 9, and 10. So 1, 2, and 8, 9, 10, I'm taking it together. Look at item number 8. It says case laws. IBBI has given a list of 59 case laws, 17 each of High Court, 17 each of NCLT, NCLAT, and Supreme Court, and 8 cases of High Court. The list is also given in the syllabus. 59. Only you have to study that. But 59 is a large number, isn't it? And look at the weightage. The weightage is 10 marks. And here, one more aspect which you have to consider is these questions are 2 marks each. So 5 questions will be asked and 2 marks each. Imagine if you leave them, can you think that somebody can pass the exam? The answer is no. So these are actually, I say, are must attempt questions. And those who have done, you see, transitions in the limited insolvency training programs, signature modules and case law modules and allied law module, well, I think they will tell you that, you see, all these cases are covered there. And then in item number 9 and 10, these are analytical, you see, cases. So one case study comes from the CIRP and liquidation. A narration will be given, which will run into 1.5 pages. And then 6 questions will follow from that case study. And these also carry 2 marks each. Again, very, very important aspect. So these are all from IBC only. And then last is individual insolvency and bankruptcy. One case study will come, 4 questions will follow, but these are 1 mark each. So if I look at the IBC itself, it is actually weighing 66%, 40% first 2 items, and last 3 items, 8, 9, 10. This makes up 26%. So total is 66%. Can you ignore IBC? The answer is no. You will have to be reading it gain an expert knowledge. So 66% weightage is out here. And rest is in between. If we look at those other syllabuses, I'll just quickly show you. Well, these are some case laws, which some you can say acts which you have already must have studied, like Companies Act, not the entire Companies Act, only 10 chapters one has to study. Then we have LLP Act, and the weightage is 8%. 8% means 1 mark, 8 questions of 1 mark each. And then we have Indian Contract Act, Partnership Act, Sale of Goods Act, Transfer of Property Act, and some kind of business contracts which are there. So business acts which are there, business laws. So 6 business laws carrying a weightage of 7%. And then we have some banking laws and SEBI regulations, RDDB Act, and then 4 SEBI regulations, plus SURFACI Act, plus Arbitration Act and Limitation Act. So this makes up to 6% weightage is also given. And then we have finance and accounts, general awareness, which is having a weightage of 7% and 6%. So 34% weightage is to some other thing. But here, allied laws, which are almost numbering 16, they also carry a huge weightage. Well, you cannot ignore them, friends. You have to study them. Of course, it becomes difficult. The syllabus becomes large, but then, nothing can be helped. You'll have to do it. You have to study that. Now, other thing is, how should I study so that I can pass in the first attempt? That's the focus. Well, my simple strategy is keep it simple. Do not get bogged down with a lot of material. You do not need any book. You do not need any commentary. Simply take bare acts like IBC bare act, rules and regulations, and then whatever allied laws are there, just simply refer to bare act. Well, if you are used to looking at the electronic document, electronic version, well and good. PDF version you can download, you can look at it. But you see, believe me, if you can buy a whole set from a bookseller, it will also become a part of your library. Well, that's an investment. 2, you can actually mark the important portions. You can highlight them. You can use a pencil. You can write your short notes. I think that will really, really help you. So get a 1 set of bare act from your bookseller of all these acts. This is an investment, friends. Mark my words. This is going to help you in future also. So do that, but read it only from bare acts. You do not need any book. This is one thing which I can tell you. 2, if you look at the Google, you just search insolvency exam limited, you will get a lot of material. You will get a lot of PPTs, you will get a lot of lectures, you will go to ICI websites or ICSI website, you will find so much of material. Well, friends, you do not need them also. For a very simple reason, because if you start reading them, we don't know, number 1, whether they are updated ones or not, because there are some old videos floating now. Then you see, the other aspect is you will get confused. You keep it simple, read it only from bare act. That is what is required, friends. Mark my words, this is going to really help you. As far as case laws is concerned, 59 cases, and each case running on an average of 30 to 40 pages. Well, 1800 to 2000 pages you cannot study. I know that. So for your purposes, Well, a book is there which has been written by me, Analysis of Cases for Limited Insolvency Examination, which gives the summary of 59 cases and gives you a lot of revisionary exercises, then multiple choice questions and other things which are there. So just refer that book. I think that will be of great help, because those people who have attended case law sessions with me, which is a 3-day program which we are doing, well, there also we make use of that book. So you can find it on Amazon or maybe a Transition's website, because it runs out very quickly. The prints are, they run out. Well, right now it is not available on Amazon, on any other this thing, but Transition being a co-publisher, probably they have some few copies which are left out with them. Well, friends, now other aspects are very important. Some people do ask me, okay, am I eligible to pass? Well, friends, what I do is, let me complete this presentation for just 5, 10, 15 minutes. And then you can also be unmuted. You can ask your questions, or you can, whatever, if your questions are there, you can put it in the chat box. So I think that will be a better approach to do that. But let me finish what I want to say. The other aspects are, as I told you, that this exam is of strategy. So strategy really, really works. But strategy doesn't, by saying strategy, I'm not saying that you have to leave some portions. But then you have to, A, understand the concepts, B, then look at the syllabus carefully, and then strategize your whole study. And one more aspect which I can tell you is, how much time is required to study these? Well, as a ballpark figure, I always tell people you should study for minimum 100 hours. Well, if you can devote, say, 5 hours every day, means 20 days. If you can devote more than that, if provided your family is permitting to devote the more time, well, you need less time, right? Isn't it? But the fact is, ballpark figure is around 3 weeks to 4 weeks time you will have to give yourself. So do not attempt the exam before you are fully prepared for at least 3 to 4 weeks. And if you're reading for the first time IBC, maybe 1 month or 4 weeks, what I've said, should be taken as a ballpark figure. Try to understand the concepts, which are extremely important, friends. And then once you have strategized it, also try to memorize. Few of the tips which I can give you, and I've been giving when I'm taking those signature classes also, that what is important is that you have to understand the question and then start answering it. Do not be in a hurry to answer it, because all questions are multiple choice. So you'll get 4 answers and you have to pick the correct answer. And believe you me, there is a negative marking. So what is the pass percentage which is required? It is 60%. So total paper is 100 marks, where you will be asked 89 questions. Out of 89 questions, 78 are 1 mark each, and 11 questions are of 2 mark each, which I just showed you, case laws and case analysis question. So 11 questions, 2 mark, 78 questions, 1 mark. So 78 plus 22 is equal to 100. Pass percentage is 60%. Here comes the strategy. How do I strategize? Because there is a negative marking also. Well, if you just carefully look at the questions and the paper also, well, out of 100, if you are, because you can't cover the entire portion. Obviously, some questions will come where there will maybe a doubt, there may be a grave doubt, or you would not have even studied, right? You would have left that particular thing. What to do? The answer is simple, friends. Do not attempt that question. Please leave that question. Out of 100 questions, friends, do your own maths. 20 questions you can leave safely and still pass the exam with 65 to 70%. Well, that is the strategy which you have to develop. But I'm not saying you leave the syllabus. I'm saying that when you go across, obviously you will find some questions which are tough questions which you are not able to answer. If you are not able to answer, please do not make guesses. If you make guesses, there will be a negative marking and you will be brought down under 60%. I have seen people scoring 58.75, 59.75 also. Well, because of the negative marking, they have come down. So let us do something which does not bring us down. So out of 100 questions, Assuming, let's take an example. 11 questions, I told you there are 2 marks each. Assuming out of 11 questions, you are able to answer 9 questions, because I told you these are must attempt questions. So I believe you must be preparing well for this. But still, I'm taking a chance that 2 questions you have left. So you have answered 9. So 9, and out of 9, assume your 1 is wrong and 8 are correct, because you have done it perfectly. So 8 into 2, 16. And 1 into half mark, because 25%. So minus 0.5 is done. Now you are scored 15.5 from 11 questions. Now, if I do a mathematics, out of 60, I've already scored 15 and a half. How much is I have to score balance? 44.5. I have got 78 questions with me. Supposing I'm leaving straight away 20 questions. So now I'm coming down to 58 questions. Out of 58 questions which I have answered, assuming 10 go wrong. Let us assume 10 go wrong. I'm still taking a very high percentage, friends. So 48 into 1. So you have scored 48. So that comes to 48 plus 15.5, that is 63.5. 10 questions have gone wrong, which means quarter mark out of this, that means 2.5 go away. So you are still at 61%. Look at this statistics. So out of 89 questions, I have left 20 questions, and my 10 and plus 1, 11 questions have gone wrong. But still I am able to pass the exam. And if you have studied well, my dear friends, then your number of questions which you are leaving and the number of questions which are going wrong will also come down over a period of time. And I have seen, you see, those people who have taken signature classes and case laws training programs from Tranzission, well, we are hearing very, very good news. And I think Prakhar will be able to tell you that every day 3 to 4 candidates are passing with a very, very high percentage. People are scoring 70%, 74%, 69%, 68%. And they are so confident they are doing it in the first attempt itself. And one of our highest scorer has been 80.5%. From Chennai, he scored, he's from Ahmedabad, he scored 80.5%. And he got a call from IBBI. He said, we want to review whether our exam is right or not. I mean, has it become easier? So they tested his knowledge on the phone itself. And he gave the answers perfectly. Then they said, okay, did you take any coaching? He said, yes, Mr. Makhija trained me. Anyhow, and that's on a lighter vein. But the fact of the matter is that if you have to take help, like a training part or something, please do that. I think that will really clarify a lot of your concepts and will make your job much easier to pass the exam. So this is what one can always do. If somebody can do, you can go to guidance for somebody, to someone. I think that will really, really help you. I'm not saying you have to come to me or Tranzission, but that's your choice, that you will have to do it. So conceptual understanding, friends, memorization, strategy, and of course, the hard work has to be there. Without devoting time, nobody can pass. Of course, you have to have knowledge of the laws, isn't it? That is extremely important that you must do. One more question people do ask me is, what is the eligibility? Well, eligibility is twofold. One is whether you are you fall under these 4 categories: chartered accountant, company secretary, cost accountant, advocate. If you are any one of them, you need 10 years of membership. It doesn't say experience, it says membership. You have to have membership of 10 years. Well, then you can attempt this exam. One more aspect: those who have completed 9+ years, they can also sit in the exam, take the exam. Please do that, because once you pass the exam, your mark sheet, whatever score you get, your mark sheet is valid for a period of 1 year. That means within a period of 1 year, you can register as an IP with the IBBI, with the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India. So start preparing. The moment you complete 10 years, you can file for your registration. Prior to that, you can definitely take the exam. So please do that if that is possible. For my young friends who are probably listening to me, they have also, sometimes they want, how do I become an IP? Well, for you friends, you will have to wait for 10 years first. But if you are less than 28 years of age, There is a graduate insolvency program being conducted by Indian Institute of Corporate Affairs. You can join that. It is a residential 1-year full program. So you can also become an insolvency professional. And that training they are giving is very good. Actually, that is what I have learned about it. And then those who are do not belong to this category, those who are not CAs or company secretaries, etc., those who are from, say, other backgrounds like engineers or maybe other people, well, they need an experience of 15 years. So graduate plus experience of 15 years in some managerial capacity. Here they want experience in managerial capacity. So you'll have to probably obtain your certificates from your past employers that you worked in this capacity. It should not be in a clerical capacity. It should be in the managerial capacity. So that is what they want. So maybe you can show your appointment letter or a pay slips, or maybe a confirmation from your past employers that yes, you have been doing this. This is important, friends, that you have to show that you have been doing this. So eligibility, we have already discussed. We have already discussed the syllabus, how to approach the exam. Passing the, you see, in the first attempt is you have to prepare yourself very well and be confident, but don't be overconfident. That, because you see, you never know. One exam you take, you pass by 65%. Next exam you take, you pass by 58%. You never know, because what kind of question which is coming, it's an all computer random exam. You will have to book a slot. You will have to go to the center there and then take the exam. This is the process which you will have to follow. And IBBI has got a bank of around 5,000 to 6,000 questions. Any question can come randomly. You never know what question is being asked. But they will follow the syllabus in the sense that whatever weightage is given, like 20 questions are going to come from, say, BEAR Act, 20 questions are going to come from rules and regulations, and so on and so forth. So they are going to really follow that, and those questions will be coming. And last thing which I can mention is, to passing the first exam in first attempt is the practice. The more you practice, the more you become confident, because you need to know what type of questions are being asked. Well, for that, I believe Tranzission has got, say, online insolvency practice exams. You can go there, and they are kind of a mirror image of IBBI. Of course, the look and feel will be different in IBBI exam, but this will give you a lot of confidence. So what I can say is, take BEAR Acts, study from there. For case analysis, you can take that book which I just mentioned, Analysis of Cases for a Limited Insolvency Exam, and then you must practice the exams. And that also, I think they are available on Tranzission. But if you are attending, say, signature course or their whatever combo program, so then you get as a part of the deal also, which of course Prakhar will be able to tell you, because I think other people are also there from Tranzission. So Prakhar, now we can take up few questions if you have any questions, or if there are any chat box questions are there.
Sure,
friends, if you have any question, you can also put it in the chat box, or if you want to be unmuted, maybe Prakhar can help you. Yes, Prakhar, go ahead. Now,
yes, sir. First of all, I like to take up the participants' questions, and then
Okay.
I'd like to impose on what Tranzission does and how can we help out the aspirants of limited insolvency examination.
Okay, great.
So the first question is, sir, that I have got is how to prepare for the limited insolvency exam and how to go about the preparation.
Well, I think I have given a fair idea how to prepare, because preparation is, again, I'm repeating, take the BEAR Acts, follow the tips which I've also mentioned in my book. For case analysis, get that book, Analysis of Cases for Limited Insolvency. There you will find tips to pass the exams are there. Follow those tips scrupulously and have a conceptual understanding, memorize certain portions, and then keep it simple, friends. And also do practice exams. Well, you are good for passing the exam in first attempt. Yes, Prakhar, over to you.
Yes. So second question that we have is, are there any specific book study material to consult while studying for the exam?
Okay, I have already covered this question, but I'll cover it once again by saying there are a lot of books. If you go to Amazon, you will find a lot of books, but you do not need them, friends. Please keep it simple. That's why I'm repeating time and again. Just take BEAR Acts, take the case analysis book, which is going to help you, because for the very simple reason, otherwise you'll have to study 2,000 pages of the case laws. So because they are containing excellent summary, so you can refer to that. So you don't need anything. These are the bare acts plus practice exams.
Yes, sir. So the next question is that during the sessions, does the faculty also discuss the strategy to attempt the exam?
Which sessions you are talking about?
So the online classes, I believe the participants.
Okay. Maybe first you can also give a brief about it, or maybe somebody else is there from Tranzission. I think first.
Sure, sir. I like to give a brief about that, sir.
Yeah.
About the IBBI, how we go about is that we have 3 modules, namely signature module, the case laws module, and the allied laws module. As for October, we have our signature module from the 2nd of October to the 7th of October, the case laws module from the 10th of October to the 12th of October, and the allied laws module from the 17th of October to the 19th of October. First of all, I like to take up the signature module. Since the signature module broadly covers the syllabus of the limited insolvency examination to provide conceptual clarity to the aspects of insolvency and bankruptcy code. The participants in this module also learn as to how to study the case laws from the book of analysis of cases for limited insolvency examination. And also they get guidance about how to go about the allied laws. This module blends well with the other 2 modules since the other 2 modules cover the cases in detail and the allied laws which are covered in the limited insolvency examination. When I come over to the case laws module, secondly, the case laws modules cover the entire 59 case laws that are covered in the limited insolvency examination. The cases range from NCLT to NCLAT, the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal, to the High Court and to the Supreme Court. So in a 3-day class, we cover all the case laws as laid down by the syllabus of limited insolvency examination. Lastly, for the allied laws module, what we do is that the other laws apart from the insolvency and bankruptcy code, which range from say contract law, arbitration law, Indian Partnership Act, these classes are covered in the allied laws as well. As with respect to the strategy is surely of how to clear the exam. The same is discussed on the last day of the signature module by our very own faculty, Mr. Ashish Makhija.
Okay, I think I just want to add, well, friends, these are whatever days he has mentioned. I think signature program is 6 days, then 3 days plus 3 days. So total is 12 days, 3 hours daily. So it is around 36 hours of intensive training, which you can say. And I can see some of the participants who have already attended, particularly Mr. Raja, I can see him. He's always smiling. Maybe he can share his experience with you also, that how he found those classes, because he has just, you see, attended those classes. So maybe we can unmute him for some time and he can also share his experience. Yes, Mr. Raja, do you want to say something, sir? Yes. We'll just unmute you. Yeah, please go ahead, sir.
Yes, sir. Very good meeting.
Yeah. Namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Sir, all your classes are very, very useful. In fact, I came to Tranzission without any idea, without any knowledge about IBC. Now I am confident I can write the exam anytime, 1 week after that. So I'll pass. I'll give you a royal salute. And IBC, from day 1, you started this class. I read again for 4 times or something. Now I am fully confident I will write the exam. And regarding this NCLT and NCLAT case laws, I had again no idea about it. And again, your book was excellent book, sir. Of course, you are an excellent teacher, but with that excellent book, I read once or twice. When I read for the 3rd time, I had fully understood what is the IBC process, what is the NCLT process. So I am slightly as an advocate also now, without doing that. The same way, Companies Act, I didn't know, I didn't buy. I bought the day you started the classes only, this Companies Act. Companies Act also, as I go through, it's excellent, sir. With your, and again, as you said, don't read any extra material. I didn't read any extra material. I'm confident I will pass and I'll give the marks to you. Thank you.
I know, Mr. Raja, you are going to do that because you have been a wonderful participant. And friends, I must share with you, I'm rather surprised to see him today because he has already attended. So, but still, he's good enough to come on his own here. Well, friends, he doesn't have that, you can say, a commercial background. He's not a chartered accountant. He's an engineer, in fact. So imagine if he's feeling confident. So if you are a chartered accountant or a company secretary, well, day in, day out, you're going to reading, you see, Companies Act and other things. But he is something who was stranger to these things. So, okay, thank you, sir, for your kind words. Yes, Prakhar, over to you. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. We have one question from Mr. Parag. Will the exam also test case laws relating to the SARFAESI Act?
Yes, Parag. Parag, I just showed you, probably, I don't know whether you were there at the beginning or not. I showed you the syllabus. So download the syllabus from IBBI's website. Acha, one more aspect before I deal with his question is, well, if you are downloading Bare Acts, friends, please download from the genuine resources. Like go to IBBI's website, download IBC and related rules and regulations, just only from there. Please do not download from any site which you find on Google. You may be downloading something which may not be an updated version, which may not be the correct and genuine version. Two, if you want to download, say, company law, well, company law, you can go to MCA website, mca.gov.in. But if you download other allied laws, go to indiacode.nic.in, which is a Government of India website where you will find all laws of India there. So indiacode.nic.in is the website. And now to answer the question of Parag, yes, the case laws, you see the allied laws, the classes which are there, we cover even the SARFAESI and the practice exams which the transition has created. It is nothing but a mirror image of IBBI. That means 89 questions you will be taking in an online environment of 2 hours. The only difference in, and the best difference is, you can press a button and you can review your exam. In IBBI, if you go there, it will tell you pass or fail, but it will not tell you which question you answered wrongly and what was the right answer. But in transition exam, you have your dashboard with you. Just press the review button. You can review your old exam which you have taken. It will tell you, you answered this. This was the correct answer. Well, that is what I always call as known as backward learning. And somebody telling you that you answered it wrongly, will you answer it wrongly next time? Friends, you will not do that. This is what the transition is supporting. So these are the modules which are already on your chat boxes now. Well, that of course is there. You can get in touch with Mr. Naveen Khanna. I believe Mr. Naveen Khanna is also part of it here. Maybe he can answer some questions if you have. Anyhow, Prakhar, over to you. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. So the next question is that what are the opportunities available to an insolvency professional after he clears the exam?
Oh, well, that's a very good question. In fact, you see, one is a very internal happiness that I become an insolvency professional. That is fun, one. Number two, you see, friends, under IBC, there are some positions which you can accept. Like you can become an interim resolution professional. You can be appointed as a resolution professional. And then you can be appointed as a liquidator. And friends, mark my words. Not only LLPs or corporate insolvency processes which are covered under IBC, but now the process for individuals, particularly who are personal guarantors to corporate debtors, have also started. And you are seeing a lot of cases. In fact, against Mr. Anil Ambani also SBI has filed a case. So if those cases are also keep on coming, well, there will be a huge flood. I'm telling you, today I was appearing before NCLT, 5 cases out of 15 cases listed were individual cases. So now that burden, that volume has also started jumping. So you can be appointed as an RP there. You can also be appointed as a bankruptcy trustee. So there are 5 positions under IBC, which are kind of, you see, very responsible positions. Then you can act as a consultant. One resolution applicant who wants to file a plan to take up that company, well, you are the best person with your experience, with your knowledge. Maybe you have an engineering background, but still you can help them in determining. Then, supposing you are appointed as an RP of a say steel industry or whatever industry it is there, you want to run, because now it is your responsibility to run it as a going concern. Will you be needing CFO's help? You will be needing CEO's help or not? Well, you will have somebody who is experienced. People like Mr. Raja, who has got experience, you can go to him and say, yes, I am appointing you to help me out as a technical person. Well, your knowledge of IBC and technicalities, well, you are the best person, my dear friends, because you know within what limits you are working. So these are extremely huge opportunities which are there, friends. And as a consultant, then you can advise a lot of people, promoters, bankers, COC members. Well, all of them need advice, isn't it? So please do that. I think that will be there. Prakhar, over to you. But Mr. Ramesh has also, I think, raised his hand. Maybe he wants to ask a question. So you can unmute him.
Sure, sir.
Or in the meantime, continue with the question.
Yes, sir. The next question is that after clearing the limited insolvency examination, how does one get the assignments? Are the same given by the IBBI?
Okay, I'll come to that in a minute. I think Mr. Ramesh is unmuted. Yes, Mr. Ramesh, if you want to ask question.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I'm a practicing company secretary based out of Bangalore. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, my experience is around 25 years post-qualification. It just hit upon me that I missed out something because I didn't appear for this exam earlier. A lot of my young friends and colleagues have passed out, and that put me really in a mental frame of mind to take up this examination, which I just have registered as a probable candidate for taking up the examinations. Soon, I want to give myself about 6 months time for preparing for it. I heard you, Mr. Makhija, saying repeatedly that you don't need to depend on any huge commentary based textbooks on the subject. You've been stressing upon that. Would there be, suppose I decide to go for a detailed study, like detailed commentaries from, there are good books available, including yours, I understand. Would that actually weigh me down when it comes to writing and getting through the examination?
Okay, I'll answer your question.
I don't know if I made any sense
No.
Asking you that.
No. I think you have, whatever you have said is absolutely right. Well, first of all, 25 years is a good experience, and I think you are a fit person to become an insolvency professional. Please do that, because we need experienced IPs, number one.
Thank you.
Number two.
Sir.
Yeah. Number two, as far as your studies are concerned, you don't need 6 months to prepare, my dear friend. Just prepare for 1 month is good enough, but devote at least 5 hours daily. You are fit to take the exam after one month, because don't wait for 6 months. If IBBI changes syllabus in between, then your syllabus right now, if I have to explain visually, right now the syllabus is this much. But if you do not pass this exam in this syllabus, the syllabus is going to become this much. So do it as soon as possible. Mark my words. Now, third point. As I always mentioned, keep it simple. You can read commentaries, no doubt about it, because you are a professional. You will be able to grasp them much more easily because you are a company secretary. But the fact is, yes, it can weigh you down at times, because too much of a knowledge also makes the exam difficult, because then what you will be studying is, you will be studying even the latest version. Well, you don't need to read the latest version. You have to confine yourself up to 1st July 2019.
Okay.
If you start reading latest cases of Supreme Court, you'll get confused, because they will be talking about something else and your syllabus could be different. So just may pass the exam. Right now, for 1 month, leave aside all commentaries, including my commentary. Right? I know I have also written a 2,300-page commentary, but that can wait. Once you become an IP, well, of course, all those books are required to be referred, no doubt about it. And if possible, if you want like help, like Tranzission has got these, you can say training programs, also join that. And I can assure you that you will be a perfect person to pass in the first attempt. And I can share another statistics with you, which I think Prakhar would be having it. There are 100+ pass outs from this transition programs in last 3 months. Last 3 months, 100 people have passed, those who have done the training. And maximum have scored not less than 65%. So going up to 80% also. So anyway, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. You've been very kind enough to guide us through very lucidly and very articulately. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, Prakhar, over to you.
Yes,
any more questions are there?
So the next question, as I said, is it mandate after clearing the limited insolvency examination, how does one get the assignments? Are the same given by the IBI?
Okay, I'll answer that. That is also important, but I think I can see Mr. Parag also raising his hand. So maybe you can unmute him. And there is one question of Mr. Inderjeet Singh also. as we are discussing to take 100 hours, I'm interested in transition as well. Should I take the program starting second? I need to complete self-study first and then no. Okay, that's a good question. In fact, Indrajit ji, you can join that 2nd October because we start from basics only. Rather, you see, before you read, in fact, if you join that class, we will help you in taking up from. And then once you read second time after that class, well, it will make your job much easier. Otherwise, what will happen is, I don't know where you are concentrating. But once you attend that program with me, I'll be with you, for 6 days. You'll have to bear me for 18 hours, of course. But then I'll make sure that you become an expert and how to read that particular IBC. Yes, Mr. Parag, you are unmuted now. I can see that.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Sir, good evening to you and to everybody on this Zoom chat.
Yes, sir.
My question was with regard to the section on the general knowledge.
Yeah.
There is one section devoted to that.
Okay.
When I took a few of the transition exams, and even say, for example, the Indian Constitution, I mean, they're pretty huge. Like say the Constitution has got about 400 sections, and in general knowledge, obviously, the sky is the limit. So there, I mean, how do we never know what kind of questions one can get. So I just wanted your guidance on what would be the best way to approach that.
Okay. As far as Constitution is concerned, we don't call them sections, we call them articles. If you look at the...
I can't hear you, sir.
Sorry?
I can't hear you.
Okay. Can you mute yourself, sir? Prakhar?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Am I audible to you, Prakhar, now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are completely audible, sir.
So, Mr. Parag, what I was mentioning was you talked about Constitution of India and other kind of, general knowledge questions, general awareness. In fact, they call it a general awareness. This is in part 7. Well, if you look at very carefully, Constitution of India, you don't have to study all 400 articles. They are very limited out here, which are talking about right to constitutional remedies, where you have to probably study 10 or 15 articles. Then they are talking about union judiciary, which is Supreme Court, again, around 20 articles. And in High Court, again, around 10 articles. So you have out of 400 articles, because we don't call sections, we call articles. Out of 400, you have to study only around 40. So it is not huge, and very specific questions are going to come from there. And then rest are, very simple concepts of forensic audit. I don't know if you are a chartered accountant or a company secretary, probably you would be aware about these. Financial market, there are 1 or 2 websites which I can refer you. You can go there, just read those concepts, particularly on ratio analysis and some.
I'm a CACWA.
Yeah. Then of course, as far as valuation, financial market, economy, I don't know, forensic audit, I don't think it is tough for you, right? You just need to know the basics. That's all.
So, Mr. Ashish, I was saying in the Constitution, I mean, which articles, I mean, in the first, say from Article 10 to about Article 40, which covers the 6 basic rights offered by the Constitution.
Right. You don't have to study that, friends. What I'll do is I'll just share the syllabus screen with you once again, and I'll show this is one doubt which always remains in the mind of the participants. So let me show you. This is the syllabus. It shows Constitution of India. I'm just highlighting this. You have to study only these portions. Right to constitutional remedies. Go to the Constitution. You will find a separate chapter on right to constitutional remedies. Only 20 articles. Then you go to provisions of union judiciary. There is a separate chapter on union judiciary. Again, 20 articles.
Okay.
Then High Court articles are again very minimum. So 40 to 50 articles you have to study. You don't have to study the entire Constitution of India fundamental rights. Well, for your general knowledge, you can study about fundamental rights because you are a citizen of the country, of a great country, but that is not in your syllabus.
So, but sir, actually, there have been some questions where, they are covering areas like right of freedom and right of minorities, which is from between Article 12 to 35.
Okay, generally speaking, those questions you cannot expect in IBBA exam. Well, why they are sometimes asked is because if you read case laws...
Sorry, I can't hear you, sir.
So you are not audible, sir, actually.
You're not audible, sir.
Okay, is it okay now? Can you hear me?
So your voice is quite low, sir.
Maybe you can mute him first, because you see what happens is now it is okay.
Yes, sir, it's fine now.
Yeah, because somebody is unmuted, so obviously then it becomes a problem. So what I'm simply saying is that those articles, generally you will not find questions, but in case laws, Justice Nariman, you see, has dealt with certain case laws where he is talking about Article 19(1)(g), Article 14. So therefore, relevance actually is coming from there. That's the only thing which I can tell you. But once you read case laws carefully, then those things will also be known to you. So they will not be difficult for you to know. Okay. So good luck to you, sir. And if you have any difficulties, maybe we can sort it out. Yes. Mr. Narasimhan has also, maybe has raised his hand. So can you unmute him?
Yes, sir, I have already unmuted, sir. Mr.
Any more further, you can tell me. Move ahead to the next question in the meantime.
Sure, sir.
You can unmute him if you wish to.
Yes, sir. So the next question is, what is the maximum number of attempts allowed for the limited insolvency exam?
Well, I'm asking you to pass in first attempt. So for me, it is only one attempt. Please understand. I want everyone to pass in first attempt. Well, you can take as many attempts you wish to, because IBBI doesn't stop you. Once you are not able to pass, you can take the next attempt. If you're not able to pass second, you can take third, fourth, fifth, whatever. But I don't want that. Okay.
Yes, sir. So the next question is that after the online classes are over, how do I retain all the knowledge that I've gained in the sessions till the time of the exam?
Well, this is what I have been telling everyone. Once you take classes, keep on studying. Don't give a break in between. If you give a break, then everything what you have studied will be lost. So keep on studying, and then whenever you're booked a slot, so keep up your studies, update yourself, and then take the exam in the one single go. So you'll have to continuously study till that time. Don't give a break, right? That's the advice I can give you. Yes.
Yes, sir. So the next question is that after clearing the exam and the registration, are there any other opportunities apart from assignments as a resolution professional or an IRP?
Well, as I mentioned, you can act as a consultant, isn't it? And there are huge opportunities. If you know technology very well, go and start creating softwares for the liquidators. Go and create for the CIRP processes. Go and create a software for case laws. Well, I mean, opportunities are huge, my dear friends. You have to think out of the box to grab those opportunities, right? Isn't it? So that's about it. Okay. Transition has come out wonderfully well with the training programs, isn't it? So that is also an opportunity to train people, isn't it? I mean, of course, they are doing a good service, but at the end of the day, they are doing business also. So that's there. Yes. Go ahead.
So the next question is that what do I do if I miss any class due to my professional commitments?
Well, you can answer that.
So with regards to the signature module, I'll say that the recordings will be made available to the participants at the end of the batch, at the end of the 6-day session. The recordings are certainly made available to the participants within 2 to 3 days. So they can certainly go over the recordings once they are done with the lectures, and they can treat it as a quick revision, a thorough revision of all that they have studied throughout the exam, throughout the classes.
Okay, if I may add, Prakhar, I can simply say, friends, please treat these classes seriously as live classes, as if you are sitting in a classroom like a physical class. Recording or no recording available, that's a facility which Transition is providing you. Well, if you miss it, maybe for your professional commitment for 1 hour or 30 minutes, that is all right. But at the end of the day, please treat them as live classes. Please make it a point to attend them. Please hear me out, because you will get an opportunity to ask a question on the spot itself. You will be able to clarify your doubts. So treat that as this thing. You will be much more beneficial. You benefited with this. Yes, Prakhar.
So the next question is that, is it mandatory to attend all 3 modules in order to understand the entire course, or can we attend any module and do the rest on our own?
Well, that's your choice. You definitely can do on your own because it's not that people are not passing on their own also. But the only thing is that because these modules have been very scientifically designed, in the sense that first we cover in the signature module, as you have also mentioned, broadly the entire syllabus is covered. Then we go on to very specific things, case laws. because studying case laws and knowing about it, and I think those who have already attended, like Mr. Raja has attended, well, he can also bear with me and say that I narrate the cases like a story, so that it gets, you see, ingrained in your mind and you never forget that. So it will really help you. And then allied laws also, because people find it difficult to know allied laws, those who have not studied, like Transfer of Property Act, Specific Relief Act, Arbitration Act, Limitation Act, probably you have not read it. Even if you are chartered accountant, probably you are not exposed to these acts. Well, we make you understand. I tell you what is the concept behind, what are the important sections which you need to study. So those things really help you. So my suggestion will be, go for the entire plan, because Prakhar, you can also tell them that if they take all the three plans together, well, there is a combo plan which you can explain it to them. What are the advantages of that? Maybe Mr. Naveen Khanna is there. Maybe he can explain to the participants what are the benefits.
So with respect to the super combo plan, the entire combo plan consists of the signature module, the case laws module, and the allied laws module, wherein the participants will also get the book, the analysis of cases for limited insolvency examination, and a book containing offline practice exams, along with the recordings that are given with respect to the signature module.
Okay, so you give 2 books free of cost, and some practice exams are also given in a
Sure. Practice exams, online practice exams, the offline practice exam, which is enclosed in the book, along with the cases and the 3 modules. They are covered in the short super combo plan.
Okay. I think Mr. Narasimha wanted to ask a question, sir. If you are ready, I mean, you can unmute yourself, because we tried unmuting you. If you need to ask a question, sir, you can ask.
So Mr. Narasimha is unmuted, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, actually, I attended last batch. I attended very excellent classes. But one thing, I've tried 3 attempts, but my mark is getting reducing every attempt.
Okay. So do one thing. We would like to definitely help you on this. What you can do is, you have my number. Are you part of WhatsApp group?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. So you have my number there. You just send me a separate message on a WhatsApp, and then I will, give you a call, and we can work out. We can look at whatever attempts you have made. So let me analyze your performance, and I'll help you personally, so that
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, don't bother about it. Well, another thing.
I also checked that all the things you have rightly said, sir. Negative markings at last some 8 or 9 marks. Negative marks has cost me. You have to advise accordingly.
Maybe you are attempting all questions, so I'll review your performance, and then we can talk about it. We'll help you out. Don't worry on that account.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Great, sir.
Okay. Yes, Prakhar, over to you.
Yes, so we have one more question, sir, that after clearing the limited insolvency exam, how does one get the assignments? Who assigns them? Is it the IBBI or is it the individuals?
Okay, there are 2-3 ways of getting this thing. IBBI is also maintaining a panel, and the best part is the panel is sent to the respective NCLT. Supposing you belong to Hyderabad, so Hyderabad NCLT bench will get that panel. Supposing you belong to Pune, then Maharashtra bench, Mumbai bench will get that panel. Well, once that panel goes to them, then NCLT is allotting the work on a first in, first out basis. That's the thing which they are following. And even new IPs are getting extremely good cases. So, but that is your luck. I mean, you may get a big case, you may get a small case, we don't know. But definitely you're going to get a case. The second is networking. Well, how do you get the business when you're practicing as a lawyer or as an engineer? Nobody knows your qualities, isn't it? So you need to network. Networking means like advocates like me. Have a good friendship with them, isn't it? Because when we move an application, we have to suggest a name of an IRP or RP. Well, if we know you, and definitely we encourage new persons also. Like supposing I'm filing a case for a Hyderabad company. Well, I'll definitely consider Mr. Raja. If he becomes an IP, well, we'll suggest his name. Similarly, you be in touch with the lawyers who are in practice of this particular IBC. Well, they can also suggest your name. You give your consent and your name will be there and you will be appointed as an IRP. And then third part is like banks are also maintaining the panels of IPs and other persons. So have a good networking with the bankers also, right? If you know general managers, you can go to them, have your name on the panel. You can also get work from there. So 3 sources, my dear friends: IBBI panel, networking with the lawyers and the other people, consultants. And of course, if you know promoters, well, that is also good. And 4th is the banks. So these are the things which you can definitely do it. Okay. But if you are sitting at your home assuming that somebody will come to you and appoint as an IP, I'm sorry, that is not going to happen in any profession also. You have to reach out to the people. You have to tell them that you are a fantastic guy, isn't it? So if nobody knows you, how will you appoint you? That's about it. So, but you have to have little patience. I think that can be done. Okay. Yes, Prakar, over to you.
So the next question is from Mr. Rajesh Khurana. How much professional fee you get generally when you are appointed by the IBBI?
Well, the scheme of the IBC is like this, my dear friends. They have kept it open as a negotiation between the IP and the creditors committee, COC. So, but generally speaking, as a ballpark figure, if it's a very large case, then it's a different matter. But if it's a normal case, a medium level case, well, the fees of the IPs is not less than around 2 lakhs per month. That's what I can tell you. In some cases, of course, it is 1 lakh per month. Some cases it is 5 lakh per month. Some IPs are charging even 15 lakhs per month. So on an average, if I take a minimum bare average also, it is minimum 2 lakhs per month. So if you get an assignment for say 6 months, well, minimum 12 lakhs you're going to get. If it's a large assignment, of course, you can think of upwards of it. So these are very, very important aspects which are there. Okay. Don't worry about fees, sir. Fees is huge. And once you are appointed as a liquidator, if you want to know about fees, let me tell you, if you do a 10 crore case, what is the fees? For first 1 crore, you get 5%. What is 5% of 1 crore? 5 lakh. For the next 9 crores, you get 3.75%. What is 3.75 or 9 crores? Around 33 lakhs, right? Isn't it? So 33 plus 5, 38 lakhs. And this you will get only and when you realize the assets. When you distribute the assets, 50% of this. So a 10 crore company which you get, which is not a very large company, 10 crore assets are only 1 property or 2 property even. You get around 57 lakh rupees. Assume you do only 2 cases in a year. Your fees is 1 crore. Compared to what you are earning as a chartered accountant or a company secretary or other things. Now tell me which fees is better. Yeah, we bharoge income tax return. Anyhow, I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad job. I'm also a chartered accountant. Well, do that, but look at the new opportunities also. That's what I'm suggesting. Okay. Yes, Prakar.
Yes, sir. So the next question is that
because we have already gone 1 hour more now, or 1 hour over. But anyway, we can field 1 or 2 questions if they're there.
yes, sir. So this is the last question, in fact. So
Okay.
the question says that what is the professional scope for individuals who are not from the field of law or not chartered accountants or company secretaries?
Well, I think you see, for every field we need people from different areas. Like even in politics, do you think that we need only pure politicians? We need people from different professions. In parliament also, we need to have lawyers. We need to have other people also, isn't it? So that the vision is much broader. So the chartered accountants or the technical people who are coming to this area, well, they are also bringing their own perspective. And I must say this. Besides the professionals like CA, CS and other who are very successful as an IPs, well, the second set of successful IPs are A, bankers, and also B, I've seen engineers. Because their thinking is very creative, right? Because you are supposed to run the company as a going concern. Well, an engineer, the way he can think, probably a chartered accountant will not be able to think that way. So I'm not comparing any profession. All professions are great. I think everyone is proud of whatever he or she has done. Well, they are also very, very successful. That is what I can say. Yes, Parag is wanting. Paragji, yes, you want to ask another question? Go ahead, sir.
No, just I'll just a small observation before I ask my question. I think when we are discussing so much on the fees, we forget that we still have to pass the exam.
Yes, that is why I always tell people at least pass the exam and become an IP first. Then you have to discuss all these things. Absolutely, absolutely. Because whether to practice as an IP or not, that's a secondary thing. See, whether you want to give up your own current practice or not. Because once you go into that IP profession, it's a full-time job, my dear friends. So you'll not be, of course, ICI and ICSI and ICMA or even advocates, they are permitted to continue with both. I mean, you can practice as a lawyer as well as become an IP. You can practice as an CA as well as an IP. But at the end of the day, well, if you have got better jobs in hand as an IP, well, then you'll have to take a call whether you want to continue which profession. So he's absolutely right, Paragji, when he says first become an IP, then think over of the fees and other things. Absolutely right, sir. Okay, so Prakhar, if there are no more questions, we can say good luck to all participants. Well, friends, if you want to join the 2nd October course, well, I'll be very happy to see you there. And wishing you all the good luck. If you need any support or any questions, maybe you can write to Tranzission, and Mr. Naveen Khanna's number is also there on the chat box. You can speak to him. I think you will all become a great IP, that I'm sure of, right? Devote 100 hours. Well, you are in for it. Thank you so much, friends. I'm taking leave from you now. Thank you. Over to you, Prakhar, for your closing remarks.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. And first of all, I'd like to mention that I've already posted the link for Transition's website on the chat box, as well as the link for signature module, case laws module, and the lies module as well. For further registration related queries, if there are any queries, then Mr. Naveen Khanna's number is already posted in the chat box. Please feel free to connect him. Finally, I'd like to thank all of you, and thank you, sir, for attending the webinar. It was our pleasure to have you all here with us. I wish all of you all the very best for your goal of becoming an insolvency professional, and wish you great success. Remember, friends, your goal is to become an insolvency professional, and our goal at Transition is to help you achieve your goal of becoming an insolvency professional. Thank you, friends. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good night.
Thank you.